From the alley-oops at Kezar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time, and we're going to be talking about sleepers. Guys that are on the fringe that could make this 53-man roster. Are there guys that could surprise us? I think there are. I think there's going to be huge battles in camp, and these guys that we're going to talk about just might make the team.
Yeah, their Niners have a loaded 90-man roster. They probably have 75 guys on there that are going to be on someone's 53-man at some point this year. That's what I feel.
That's really impressive. And Horst, if you're right about that, man, they're going to have some tough cuts to make. But that also means sleepers could be sneaking their way into the roster if this roster is, in fact, that talented. And I'm going to start with the very first guy on my list, and that's Josh Peterson, tight end, that they took as an undrafted guy. Now, look, we all know how things are going with Kittle. You know that Dwelly is safe. But I don't know if everyone's convinced entirely that Charlie Warner is the guy that's the number 3 option. And Josh Peterson has a chance this preseason to prove that he is the best option there, especially the third option. He's definitely going to be a better receiving option than Warner off the get-go. The question is going to be, can he get it done in the run game as a blocker in Kyle Shanahan's offense? If he can improve, show something that there's something there, there's a spark there. Has to be more than just a willingness to block. That he's got some sort of technique down, he's got things figured out and dialed in, put on some strength, get a little stronger, and show that he can handle a workload as a blocking tight end in this system, then he very well could find himself as the third option and the third tight end in the system, because I don't think they make the move and go bring in an undrafted free agent if they're completely and entirely sold that Charlie Warner or Daniel Helm is the guy.
That's a solid choice there, Alex. My first guy is going to go ahead and be Juwan Jennings, the wide receiver they picked in the 7th round last year out of Tennessee. Fortunately, he suffered an injury in training camp and did not play last year.
Well, unfortunately or unfortunately?
I meant to say unfortunately.
Oh, I'm glad
I mumbled there. Sorry, guys.
I'm glad you clarified.
Unfortunately, Juwan Jennings suffered an injury in camp and was unable to play last year. But before he got hurt, Kyle Shanahan was raving about him. And he's a big physical guy. He's something they've kind of lacked. He's about 6'3", 6'4", 215 pounds. He was a dominant player in the SEC at Tennessee with a bad quarterback. And I just think he's got a ton of potential. He fell in the draft because of some off-the-field issues.
And speed.
And a slow 40. But I think he's a guy that could come out if he gets it together and really, and not just make the team, but have an impact, have a role in the red zone, somewhere like that. But not just make the team, but have an impact.
Yeah, I think if he improves his hands, last year in training camp he really struggled, making contested catches, and that's something you have to do as a possession receiver. But if he fixed that, 100%, you're right, he could push to make this roster.
And he's shown potential. I hate to bring it up and I hate to say it, but he did catch a game-winning Hail Mary against my Florida Gators in college. So thanks, Juwan.
There you go. If you've not watched that highlight video too, it's impressive. The dog that is, I think that's what it's called, the dog. It's amazing.
It is.
To watch. My sleeper is going to be Jordan Willis. The reason I'm saying him is because I think that the 49ers might elect to keep an extra pass rusher, because of the possibility that D Ford re-injures his back. And so there could be some uncertainty there. Plus you have the Kevin Givens off-the-field issues that might ultimately lead to him not making this roster. I think Jordan Willis really came in last year and improved. He didn't make any huge improvements. It wasn't like something that you went from day and night, but he definitely got better as the season went on. It seemed like he was figuring out how to play Chris Kaceric's way, how to play outside in this wide 9. And you notice the first thing that always happens is these players start playing low. And he really did. He started playing low, and he looked very good coming off. His first step got better. So I think that he's somebody that could push to make this roster, especially if you have an injury on the outside. He will for sure be able to take care of that, make the roster. So Jordan Willis is going to push for one of these 53-man roster spots, and don't be surprised if he doesn't end up making the team.
Yeah, I really like Willis, by the way, as a side note. He really plays with high energy.
He does.
When he comes into the game, I really enjoy watching him play.
He definitely is someone who's got something to prove, and he shows it every snap. He acts like it and plays like it. Like every down could be his last. And he's got a chip on his shoulder, and that could be the thing that pushes him over the edge and maybe makes them want to keep that extra pass rusher, like you said, Ant. You thought we were done, didn't you? No, we're not done. We all got one more sleeper.
We do.
My last sleeper on this list is one that's going to probably cause a little bit of a kerfuffle here in chat. So chat, you can absolutely let me have it if you disagree, which I imagine it's going to be about a 50-50 split here. It's Mohamed Sanu. And here's the thing, right? Ooh. They brought him in last year. They brought him in. Kyle Shanahan did. I think we were all a little surprised when Mohamed Sanu, he's coming off the big injury. The Patriots just cut him and let him go. Like, what are you seeing here? And we kept him around for a few games, and then it was like, okay, bye. See you later. We don't need to deal with this right now. You're not 100% yet. And then he ended up in Detroit, in Matt Patricia's land of used-up Patriots players, and actually looked not too bad in the system over there.
Yeah.
Definitely looked a lot healthier. Route running looked crisper. He was able to get open in space. He's not the deep threat that he once was, and that aspect of his game is gone. But if you're asking for a guy that you can bring into the system and as a possession role, in sort of the Kendrick Bourne type mold, this 100% could be the case. This 100% could happen. He knows Kyle Shanahan's system already. He's very familiar with it. And who knows, maybe he's going to be the extra sweetener deal. Hey, Julio, why don't you come on back and get paired up with your old running mate there down in Atlanta? You never quite know. Mohamed Sanu, though, is definitely a name to watch, especially if some of these young wide receivers go down in training camp. This guy could sneak himself right onto this 53-man roster. But Horst, who you got for us next?
My second guy is another guy that they drafted that's had some injury issues, would be defensive back Tim Harris. Tim Harris kind of has all the things they look for in a corner. He's over 6 foot. He's long. He's lanky. He's not afraid to mix it up. His biggest issue has just been staying healthy. When he's been healthy, they've had good things to say about him during camps, during practice. But unfortunately, he's just struggled in that regard. And we all know you can't make the club in the tub. But if he does remain healthy, I think he can challenge for one of the back end corner spots.
Yeah, I think it just got a lot harder for Tim Harris Jr. because of the 2 corners they drafted. But I think they're very high on him, and he's going to have an opportunity to prove that he can do it in practice and in training camp. So he will be someone to watch. The other thing to watch is, can he translate to a man coverage? He's really been a cover 3 guy, but if he can translate, we'll see what happens. My guy is going to be Justin Hilliard. And the reason I'm going with him is because I think that there's a possibility that he could squeeze one of these linebacker spots because he's a freakish athletic talent that can do a lot of great things, and he can also help on special teams. Plus, it seems like every single year we have one linebacker that gets hurt in camp, and that we're not able to get the full group out there, so he might be able to squeeze into one of those spots. I really like his ability to cover in space. And so I think if he can come out there and have a really good camp, D'Amico Ryans can definitely develop these guys, and he will have a possibility to make the roster. The one thing that could hurt him is if Talanoa Hufanga ends up being a linebacker and not a safety. If Hufanga is a safety, then this will help Hilliard be able to make the roster. If not, he's going to struggle because Hufanga is a little bit more impactful in what he does, and I think they have a specific role for him, but Hilliard's going to push, and I think Sullivan will push too, but I think Hilliard, just the things Bosa said about him and kind of that, they're so high on him, I think Hilliard could possibly do it because of the athleticism.
No, and I agree with you there 100%. Let us know what you think about these down below. Is there any sleepers that we're missing? Is there anyone that we should have been including? Because if so, the only way we're going to know is if you comment down below right now. Let us know, and while you're down there, do not forget to hit that like button. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell as well. That way you're notified in here for all of this fantastic, wonderful content coming at you daily at 11 a.m., Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, as my boy Horst down there likes to say, and 6:30 p.m. on Fridays for live streams. Although this week, no live stream. We got nice content coming for you.
Yeah, and please share the video. Let everyone know, all your friends and the people that you talk to, that this is out there, this content is here. Every single time that I put it out there, somebody says, "Oh, I didn't know you guys had a podcast," or I didn't know this was... And so we just want to get everyone involved and everyone a part of the conversation. That's the funnest part, is talking to everyone. You can join in with all the conversations. This is a great group of people. They always have great things to say, and it's always fun.
Yeah, it's always exciting to talk about football with 49ers fans, whether we agree, disagree. As long as we keep it civil, it's fun.
Always is, always will be. We love you, Cutback community. And 49ers fans, until next time, you stay safe.
Remember the right way
is always the 49ers way.